Sign up for the Rest Easy plan today.
Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
It's Thursday, November 12, and it's time for Network News. I'm your presenter, Odette Campbell. Coming up in the news this evening, suspected case of suicide as a Pearl's grandmother tells GBN about her final moments with her grandson. COVID-19 case on board leads to the cancellation of the Sea Dream visit. Members of the public question why the rush to bring cruise lines back to the island. Former tourism director worried about inactivity in the tourism sector and its impact on taxi drivers, vendors, and other stakeholders. A reading of the tea leaves pointing to possible oiling of elections machinery, but political pundit says that's rubbish. Coming up in sports, Campbell Football Club pummels Tempe All Blacks 18 goals to nil. 18 goals to nil in GFA Cup. In around the globe this evening, Europe in panic mode as COVID cases reach an all-time high as it did in the spring. We will bring you the details of those and other stories after this message. This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Quartz, bringing value home.
And now for the news in detail. A Pearl's grandmother is heartbroken tonight. She nurtured her grandson from a tender age, but now he's dead. As Christelina John tells us, his suspected cause of death is a source of agony for the Pearl's woman.
A poisonous substance is believed to have claimed the life of Darren Mackenzie, a young man of Pearls in St. Andrew. GBN was told that young Mackenzie must have ingested the substance sometime on Sunday. According to information relayed to the GBN by his grandmother, Darren was taken to the Princess Alice Hospital and later to the General Hospital, where he died 2 days later. Mackenzie says her grandson Darren told her he was not feeling well, and upon questioning him, he revealed what she didn't expect to hear.
For me, Sunday, just tell me, give him a Panadol. I tell him I have no Panadol. And then no, leave, he tell me, give him a $5 to go the road, and when he come back, he just telling me how he head hurting me. So when he tell me he head hurting me, I say, what do you? He don't say. Then I find like he want to vomit, and they tell him I want to do. Then I say, why you drink? Why you eat? He say, I drink Gramazone. And then I call her and I tell her, and she come down. She saw him go with him, and then maybe they marry go, and I don't know who bring him in town. So in town hospital there.
The painful bit for her is that she was about the last person to find out her grandson died.
When go to the hospital, you stay Sunday, Monday, Tuesday evening, Grenada sailing. He dead in the hospital. So my son come and ask me, do you put here? I said, no, I don't hear put. One of them comes in baggage and telling me, except and see.
Ms. Mackenzie says her grandchild was mentally challenged. However, throughout his ordeal, she stood by him. Darren lived with her from a young age and will be greatly missed.
I will miss him still, yes. Without how we dead and gone, they are satisfied, but I will miss him, yes.
Christina John, GBN News.
And our condolences to the family. They had a dream. It involved Grenada, but they have awoken without seeing that dream manifest itself. Rena Pear tells us about the cancellation of the first visit by the Sea Dream cruise liner, which should have arrived in Grenada tomorrow.
Sea Dream 1 was scheduled to sail into Port St. George in Grenada on Friday. It would have been the first ship for the 2020-2021 winter cruise season. However, that was not to be, as the Sea Dream's passengers received bad news while on board. The voyage to Grenada was cancelled because a passenger tested positive for the virus. As a consequence, all travelers and non-essential crew were asked to return to their cabins immediately and have since been placed in isolation. Sea Dream 1 is now heading back to the port from which it departed, where it will be met by medical professionals. Some members of the public have welcomed the ship's move away from Grenada.
This thing is all over the country and it's all over the world, sir. I mean, what's the big hurry? People not dying down here from starvation, so they could hold on. You don't know who have it, you know? I mean, they have to do something better than this. They could wait. Let the cruise ship come in next year. Give them some more time. At least give the Grenadian people some more time. We don't have much cases down here. Why increase it?
I say if they're not fit for here, then leave them right where they is over there. Because we can't afford to go down like that. Because all like this, I hate waiting there. You know, when I did home, I doesn't wait that. When I in the garden, I doesn't wait that. So if they don't fit for here, just leave them over there.
I think they should wait for next year. Yeah, it can't really risk the virus coming in Grenada because, well, things are already hectic as they already are. Because look at what happened. What time was that with the doctor and all the people come in? Like they don't really put effort into making them really make them safe when they come into the country and making the Grenadian people are safe as well. Yeah, so I think that they should wait till the cruise ship and then come for next year.
Yeah, I think we should wait for next year because this is too risky. The same ship that's in Barbados has COVID people on it. So why would we want to come to Grenada? That's ridiculous. Nah, we have to turn that back. We can't accept that. That's not good.
To wait for next year. Because the year ain't far again to end. So to see if things will get a little better.
Passengers on the current cruise boarded the ship last Saturday in Barbados. They were required to take a COVID-19 test at home before flying to the island and test negative within 72 hours of travel. Another PCR test was administered at the dock prior to boarding. The ship is carrying 53 passengers and 66 crew. The vessel had already visited St. Vincent, Canouan, the Tobago Cays, and Union Island. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Well, there have been mixed opinions on whether cruise ships should be allowed into Grenada this time. While some fear the health risks, others are concerned about the drain on the economy without activity in the tourism sector. General McDonald has this report as compiled by GBN's Sherry Blackman-Stevens.
As government attempts to restore some level of normalcy to the country, COVID-19 continues to drop pebbles along the path. Former director of the Grenada Tourism Authority, William Joseph, believes the decision to cancel Sea Dream's arrival was a good call. Mr. Joseph acknowledged the fact that the country's health and wellness comes first, but he says it's a chicken and egg situation.
We have to be smart about the situation, okay? There's a point of interaction between cruisers and the local population, whether it is vendors or taxi drivers or who else. right? It is the points of contact that we need to pay attention to. And in that regard, to ensure that on our side, as far as is possible, our people are prepared with adequate protective gear, and they do not, in their anxiety to get business, let their guard down.
The tourism industry has been hardest hit by the pandemic. It has left hundreds of people unemployed or working with reduced salaries. While many clamor for another shutdown of the country's borders, Mr. Joseph does not think that the cancellation of the other ships, which are scheduled to call on Port St. George, is the answer.
Should we shut the thing down? Should we say no to it? I don't think so. I think we can say yes to it, but that yes should come only after we would have satisfied ourselves that we have put in place a sufficiency of measures, adequate measures to protect the population. And within that adequacy point I make, I appreciate that there are going to be loopholes. Something is going to slip through the crack here and there. It's never going to be perfect. So we're going to have to live with the thing.
Government has repeatedly highlighted the significant decline in revenue, making it impossible to continue providing people affected by COVID-19 with a stimulus package. Joseph recognizes that taxi drivers, craft vendors, and others who provide service to the industry will feel the brunt of the economic fallout for a while.
The vendors and taxi drivers and so on, they want to work. They want to work, and if tourists are prepared to come, then we owe them the management arrangements and so on, the controls, the safeguards to ensure that they can work without, in fact, catching the COVID thing themselves. They are owed that. This country owes them that. And then they also have a responsibility in this whole task of protecting themselves. So the two things have to work together.
The need to educate tourism industry workers and the general population is being seen as key to the way forward.
There is still a gap in the education of the local population to treat with tourists in the prevailing circumstances. It's not just a question of the advisories issued by the Ministry of Health. We are now talking about practical things. How should the ordinary Grenadian interact with the tourists on this destination? And I think the GTA has a responsibility to address that. And yes, it's doing a significant amount with the first line participants in the industry, but they need to do a lot more.
The former tourism director's summation is that whether it is acknowledged or not, the fact is that every cruise ship or aircraft which comes to Grenada have the risk of bringing with them a case or more of COVID-19. For GBN News, Janelle MacDonald.
Is the ruling party oiling the election machinery? The question comes as the new National Party engages in a series of town hall meetings and continues to beef up its public relations apparatus. These moves have evoked suspicion that the party is preparing for a general election and may call one earlier than is constitutionally due. Joseph Cador has that story as compiled by Sherry-Ann Blackman-Stevens.
The new National Party NNP has been engaged in a series of town hall meetings with plans to undertake meetings in every constituency. These meetings have evoked suspicion that the party is preparing for a general election and may call one earlier than is constitutionally due. This was further amplified last week when General Secretary of the party, Roland Bowler, outlined plans for the party's convention in early January 2021.
Based on our party's constitution, and we are a very democratic organization, the constitution of the party dictates that there should be two major activities annually that deals with the structure of the party. One, the convention, and two general councils, and that is enlisted in the constitution. That was not, we could not do it this year, the convention in particular, because of COVID and the procedures that needed to be followed.
Pundits who have been alluding to a possible snap poll in Grenada have been basing their musing on the trajectory that has been set in Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Dominica, and most recently, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They all called general elections within limited preparation window, averaging 6 weeks. However, political analyst Samuel Latouche is not buying into the notion that the Keith Mitchell-led New National Party is heading down that road.
Sometimes this could be a political ploy to get the opposition to think that way and spend the money they have while we have time to go. This could be another ploy, but I don't think we would have election. That is a sign of election.
Commentators have also grounded their projection of a possible early poll on the perception that the ruling party senses a semblance of disquiet among the electorate. They point to the post-COVID upheavals and the vulgar anti-government and ruling party sentiments during the illegal carnival activities.
Since after the George Floyd death, I can't breathe. We see young people all over the world, Grenada, Jamaica, Dominica, Trinidad. They have a kind of defiant mood. And we see it expressed clearly around Carnival. We have never seen people try to demonize a prime minister in the most vulgar, farming, jab song.
Latouche says, while that could be something to examine, he does not think that the ruling party is in any jeopardy. He thinks the main opposition party has squandered opportunities to remain politically relevant.
From where I stand and where I look in, I don't think that the town hall meeting and them is any indication of election. Because if election call now, we'll have the same result. If you call for Christmas, it would have the same result. Because they complain and they cry baby, not getting down to do the work that would enable them to win an election. So I think that the government have a free run, or the party.
General elections were last held in Grenada in 2018 and are not constitutionally due until 2023. Joseph Kador, GBN News.
Is Network News. Coming up, a Guave resident gets lucky. He's taking him a huge lotto haul. We'll tell you exactly how much money he won in the next segment of news. Do stay with us.
Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening at Republic Bank. Low interest rate happening. Quick approval happening. Christmas time happening at Republic Bank.
And 2020 on a merry note at Republic Bank as we spread the holiday cheer with our Make It Happen loans. Republic Bank is here to lighten up your spirit with quick approvals and cash prizes valued at over $10,000.
Christmas is happening at Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
Your hard work, talent, and creativity, plus Flow, equals more ways to chase your dreams. Flow is connecting all of Grenada, from Point Salines to Hillsborough, with the most reliable connection on the island. So now everyone can work, study, and keep moving forward together. Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Rubis is giving you
more ways to win because you deserve it. Spend $50 or more in Ultratech fuel or purchase a Rubigas refill at any Rubis service station and get an entry card. Win one of 5 amazing grand prizes worth $2,500, including Ultratech fuel, cash, groceries, bill payment vouchers, and home furnishings. Each grand prize winner gets to donate $500 to charity too. Plus, win exciting weekly prizes, including electronics. Make sure you're in with a chance to win. Win with Rubis. You deserve it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Have you tried it yet? Then what are you waiting for? Join the fun online Sunday, November 15th from 6 p.m. and you can win $10,000 US. Yes, $10,000 US. Tickets are only $10 US. Get yours today at gotofed.com or from numerous box offices island-wide. Don't miss the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Sunday, November 15th. It's the new way to play bingo.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can pack my sack. I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view. Arise, look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening. Christmas is happening at Republic Bank. Low interest rate happening. Quick approval happening. Christmas time happening at Republic Bank.
And 2020 on a merry note at Republic Bank as we spread the holiday cheer with our Make It Happen loans. Republic Bank is here to lighten up your spirit with quick approvals and cash prizes valued at over $10,000.
Christmas is happening at Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
And welcome back. In the midst of all the bad news this week, there is something to smile about, at least for one Gore resident. And what we can tell you is that not everyone rejoices with loud laughter and cheers when they make it big. Some will prefer to sit silently and ponder the good news. Well, that's what the latest Lotto jackpot winner chose to do. He spoke with GBN Sharian Blackman-Stephen today.
Guelph St. John resident Ricky Pariag is the Lotto jackpot winner, up for whooping $234,000. Pariag was presented with his check on Thursday in the studios of GBN. Relaying the moments he realized he was the man to collect the jackpot, he said rather than jump for joy, he became a man of silence.
It was Tuesday, the day after the draw. I checked online on the Lotto site, right, to see my numbers, to compare my numbers with the winning numbers. That's when I saw my numbers was matching the numbers on the site. And then I realized I won, you know. I was so quiet and humble. I didn't want anyone to realize what happened. Well, you know, so it was a great feeling, but I was keeping it under control.
He said he's overwhelmed with joy and therefore he's yet to decide what he plans to do with that winning. But one thing's for sure, his daughter is his priority.
I got a daughter that I have to send to university, you know. So that is one of my first plans, right? Yeah, that is one of my first plans.
He expressed thanks to the National Lottery Authority for providing his chance to take home cash.
I am living proof right now that it pays to play, and I will let everyone know that you got to be in it to win it.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Indeed, that does bring a smile. I like the part where he said, I just kept it under control. I didn't want anyone to know. I guess he was in shock. He wanted to verify. Moving on, recent calls in Grenada for an increased population is being echoed in another Caribbean island. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt says the population growth is too slow. Concern was recently raised about the possibility that Grenada's national insurance scheme will soon have problems meeting its pension obligations. The decline in youthful population here in Grenada and high unemployment levels have been cited as some of the critical factors at home. In fact, the NIS has proposals this week out to increase the age over a period of time. And Dominica's Prime Minister says Grenada's problem is not unique.
The Prime Minister of Dominica is asking his citizens to be fruitful and multiply.
I think I need about 40,000 more people in Dominica. And I am concerned about this one child per home that we have in Dominica. You know, back in the days, you know, when we had no roads, we had no school, we had no this, we had no that. People making 17 children. You know, and you have big people now, you know, a little child in the house, and if a big house, I mean, so we have to fix that, you know.
Skerritt, speaking on Sunday during his weekly video address to the nation, says that the country's population is insufficient to support the level of infrastructural investment that has been made over the years. He says that a national conversation has to be held on addressing the island's low fertility rate and that his government is seeking input on what policies can be implemented to encourage baby making among Dominicans. Skerritt says that school enrollment has dropped precipitously and that Dominicans must take measures to improve the reproductive rate.
Now, I mean, you have what, 30 or so students in a big school, you know, and so on. So we need people. We need people in Dominica. So some of you there out there, you know, have one little child. You tell your husband and tell your wife, man, I mean, you're not reading there tonight. There, it'll make something happen. People gonna say, "What happened to Skerritt tonight, boy?"
The question is, what happened to Skerritt tonight, boy? And I can tell you a secret, the producer is giggling on the other side. So I wouldn't tell you his name because when you see him in the street, you might want to ask him his opinion on that. But we would like to hear you weigh in on the subject matter. And moving along now to GBN Health. At the start of the newscast, we related the story of a heartbroken Pearl St. Andrew grandmother whose grandson died of suspected suicide. In tonight's GBN Health, we revisit a news feature focusing on suicide prevention.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
This poem is entitled Suicide. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, according to American film producer Phil Donahue. I can't live instead. Life is worth living. Kill those suicide thoughts you've been thinking. Whatever the problem may be, there is a solution. If you look, you will see.
The subject is often viewed as taboo, but was not too weighty for Elena Roberts, a psychology student who joined in observing World Suicide Prevention Day. She's now pursuing a bachelor's in psychology. In an interview with the GBN, she highlighted the alarming spike in suicide rates in the Caribbean. The issue is particularly critical in Grenada, where a string of suicides during the COVID lockdown sent shockwaves around the island.
Thankfully, there isn't an alarming rate of increase in suicide in Grenada or in the Caribbean, according to World Health Organization report in 2018. According to this report, Grenada experienced 2% of suicide rates. However, during the COVID times, there have been a spike in suicide rate, especially in the St. Patrick Parish.
Mrs. Roberts cites the need to raise awareness, especially during these challenging times.
Education is definitely a powerful tool, and raising awareness on suicide can help individuals to make better choices. Especially in this COVID time, life has changed, and adapting to change can be quite stressful. For example, some persons would have lost their jobs, and so that's a loss of income. So there is now an additional strain on them to find that income to meet their basic needs.
Mrs. Roberts, who teaches students at the primary level, thinks it's essential that people at all levels look out for each other, especially the youths. Looking out for the one in science, she says, is a good place to begin.
According to the National Institute of Mental Health, there are some warning signs that we can look forward to. For example, change in behavior. You might have someone who is bubbly and excited becoming withdrawn, or constant talk that they want to kill themselves, or there might be a loss of appetite or change in their sleep pattern. All these and more are signals to persons who want to commit suicide.
It is often said that prevention is better than cure. If you believe that a friend or family member is suicidal, experts advise that you play a role in prevention by showing them that there are alternatives, letting them know that you care, or getting a doctor or psychologist involved. Joseph Kador, GBN News.
And it's time to wrap tonight's second segment with a look at what has been drawn in through the lens in the GBN ISO segment.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
It's becoming a norm in the town of Grenville, St. Andrew. Heavy rainfall and the streets underwater. This is Thursday's occurrence, captured by our ISO reporter. Send us your interesting photo and video submissions to our social media platforms, including WhatsApp at 405-3052.
And this is Network News. Still to come from us, a very interesting quote from an OECS official who is looking at world digital events in Grenada and other OECS countries. He says what took 20 years to achieve, COVID caused it to happen in 2 months. We will tell you about that in the next segment of news. This is Network News. We'll be right back.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load. With tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with Tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with Tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with Tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. A telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
The Franklins are returning from their dream vacation, but they soon discover that their world has changed.
They want to test Papa for COVID-19. Why they don't test all them damn people that are flying on the plane with the woman they call in Patient Zero?
Heritage Theatre presents Patient Zero, a full-length play written by Chris Riggs, directed by Neela Etienne. Patient Zero, a story about a family and a nation under the grips of COVID-19.
Madness! Pure madness!
He got the whole world in his hands. We got the whole world in his hands.
I mean, your father has just been carried away on a stretcher, and all you can say is you're locked up and you're frustrated? What do you want me to say? I'm locked up and frustrated.
Patient Zero at the Grenada Trade Center.
They ain't even allowing 2 Dashies to come from St. Vincent. All they're talking about is curfew, curfew, curfew.
Social distancing and other safety protocols will be in place.
Real Value IGA Supermarket, serving our community. Think Real Value IGA Supermarket today. Real Value IGA Supermarket keeps the savings flowing when you use your Real Value IGA Supermarket frequent shopper card.
Excuse me, ma'am, do you have a shopper's card? Yeah, sure.
Real Value IGA Supermarket, where good food begins.
It's that time again when you can nominate a person or business making significant contributions to the tourism industry in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique as part of the People's Tourism Choice Awards, Pure Safe Travels Edition. Nominations can be submitted via Grenada Tourism Authority at gmail.com, stating the name and address of the nominee, the category, and a supporting paragraph as to why they should be recognized. Categories include creativity and innovation, new tourism business, virtual leaders, new tours, training, resilience, transportation, service excellence, special awards, and memorabilia or merchandising. Nominations for these categories end on Wednesday, 18th November at midnight. The winners and awards ceremony will be announced at the end of Tourism Awareness Month. Visit www.puregrenada.com/blog for more information. The People's Tourism Choice Awards, Pure Safe Travels Edition.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Food Fair offers quality foods at affordable prices. Now, with our improved web store, you can make all your purchases from the comfort of your home. It's so simple, easy to log in and navigate. Safe and secure transactions and a quick checkout. All your grocery needs at your fingertips. Convenient and reliable. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
And this evening, we're turning our attention to agriculture again in the third segment of news. Foreign Affairs Minister and Parliamentary Representative for St. David, Oliver Joseph, says Grenada's food import bill hit millions in 2019. He highlighted the statistic during a sod-turning ceremony for the establishment of a greenhouse at Lassaches in St. David. Minister Joseph said the equipment will be of great advantage to Grenada's food security plan.
Our food input bill for 2019 was $350 million EC. Jesus. For a country that is an agricultural country, we have to reduce this food input bill. And COVID has provided us with the opportunity to do just that.
The facility will be erected on the grounds of the Chinese demonstration farm. Minister for Agriculture Peter David said greenhouse farming technology is the way to go to increase agricultural production.
We speak a lot about encouraging youth to become involved in agriculture. We speak a lot about technology in agriculture. We speak a lot about the need, particularly in COVID, to advance agriculture. This is what we speak about when we speak about advancing agriculture. This greenhouse, as my brother Thompson indicated, is the first of its type in Grenada. This greenhouse has all of the automation necessary to ensure that we have production all year round.
The greenhouse will serve as a training facility where farmers can learn the mechanisms of a fully automated greenhouse system, which could reflect crops grown in a fully controlled environment, free from pests and disease and interference of the elements. The new facility is part of the expanded agricultural mission and broadened program of assistance by the People's Republic of China. And now we're going digital and we're looking at Grenada and other OECS countries. Pandemic and digital transformation. The terminology is being used at the 10th edition of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's Digital Dialogue. The online discussion focused on how the COVID-19 pandemic helped to transform the Caribbean digitally and ways in which it can be strengthened. Members of the OECS and other key stakeholders participated in the Zoom discussion outlining their vision for digital transformation in the region and its importance to the economies and to their societies. Dr. Didicus Jules, the Director General of the OECS, says COVID-19 has done in 2 months what they've been trying to achieve for 20 years.
We have had to jump quickly on that digitization, that digital transformation bandwagon, as quickly as possible. And in fact, what we failed to do in 20 years, we have actually done in 2 months. And the World Bank has been a great player in this. I'm happy to see that Mr. Millett of ECTEL is on board, because ECTEL is critical to the further liberalization of bandwidth. I often say that bandwidth is oxygen, and that is the backbone on which we are going to do this transformation.
Tashin Syed, the country director of the Eastern Caribbean at the World Bank, says digital transformation is a necessity in the Caribbean region, and as such, her company is committed to assisting with the regrade.
We are transitioning and benefiting from the innovation, the efficiency, the effectiveness, the outreach and connectivity that is there because of digital technology. Whether it's citizens' interactions with public services, such as getting licenses or paying taxes, or conducting financial transactions, as you were mentioning, whether it's licenses or other transactions, e-payments, you need the technology. As you said just now, Governor, the COVID-19 pandemic has been a stark reminder of the benefits of digitization. Every moment that we are living and breathing as we are doing right now, it is because of the benefit of digitization. Hence the
And this is Network News. Let me tell you, you can't switch. You can't go anywhere. There is a sporting item that you must see tonight. It's the play of the day. It is a marvelous shot on the golf course. You can't miss that one tonight. Do stay with us. Sports is on the way.
Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal. Join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Have you tried it yet? Then what are you waiting for? Join the fun online Sunday, November 15th from 6 p.m. and you can win $10,000 US. Yes, $10,000 US. Tickets are only $10 US. Get yours today at gotofed.com or from numerous box offices island-wide. Don't miss the 10th edition of YT Virtual Bingo. Sunday, November 15th. It's the new way to play bingo.
Well, several countries continue to reel from the impact of Tropical Storm Ada. Well, Sigoni Mohammed has been tracking the storm and keeping us up to date weather-wise. We go over to Sigoni at this time.
Let's take a look at what's happening across the islands, because we definitely got some cloudiness today and some welcome showers in and around Trinidad and Tobago. What we'll notice into the rest of this evening is that we will see some more cloudiness persisting, with it just a light or gentle breeze into this evening's forecast and nice cool temperatures into the mid-20s. Looking out as well for some spotty or intermittent rain shower activity to take us through the evening into tomorrow morning. So let's talk about tomorrow's forecast between sunrise and sunset. We're not expecting a lot of activity because we do have the ITCZ close by, but let's jump into the Atlantic first up because we're continuing to track Tropical Storm Ada and Tropical Storm Theta over on the eastern side. Both of these systems pulling away from land masses, which is good news in terms of where it's going and its forecast track. So we won't be talking about that very much longer into this weekend. Now we're also monitoring an area of interest called Invest 98L. This one is now in the central portion of the Caribbean Sea, and Jamaica has actually issued an adverse weather alert for its citizens because a strong tropical wave could very well become a tropical depression. And we've been talking about it all week long and on social media. It could take the next name on the Greek alphabet list, Tropical Storm Iota, or if it is a depression, whether it develops or not, this system is likely to bring some heavy rains and a lot of flooding issues for parts of Jamaica and the Western Caribbean. Again, back at home, we do have the ITCZ close by, and that's been producing the cloudiness, which will take us into tomorrow's outlook. Again, looking out for that shower and isolated rainstorm activity, even the possibility of thunder showers, mostly centered across Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago looking out for moderate to heavier downpours at times. And look at our temperatures into tomorrow's forecast. Trinidad coming in at 30 degrees Celsius for Friday, whereas Tobago is coming in at 31 degrees Celsius, just a little bit warmer, but still quite cloudy. Even overcast skies can be expected for parts of Tobago into tomorrow's outlook. Unfortunately, these conditions could very well take us into our Diwali forecast, but only time will tell what the weather will bring. Even if we do see that kind of weather playing out, just remember that where we have those heavier downpours, the usual suspects come out to play: the gusty winds and the possibility of street or flash flooding. So you want to have the umbrella on hand and be mindful as to when you're commuting and conducting your daily activities into tomorrow and into the weekend. I've got your Diwali forecast into tomorrow's outlook though, so don't be too worried. We'll see what happens then. I've got more weather coming up in a short while, so stay tuned for that. It's over.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016, or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Well, good evening, sporting fans. It's your turn at the news crease. We're going to start it off with exciting football. It was an eventful the second day in the GFA Cup. While some of the matches were cancelled due to teams not having sufficient eligible players, at least 3 matches were played on Wednesday. And now we could look at some of the scores. Eagles Super Strikers, through goals from Bradley Jeremiah and Kelvin Caton, defeated St. David 2-0. St. John's Sport and Happy Hill ended in a 1-1 draw as Shavon Sampson converted for St. John's Sports and Quinton Bain for Happy Hill. There was a landslide victory for Camihon with 18 goals against opponents Tempe All Blacks, who scored only 1 goal. Forwards Roma Frank and Raheem Stephen both scored 6 goals apiece. Kwasi Tiedo netted 2, while Kimron Marshall, Jamal Telesford and Kobe Wrigley netted 1 goal each. An own goal counted as the 18th goal. Can you imagine that? 18 goals. That would have been some kind of afternoon for the losing side. Well, we will continue to keep you up to date on the tournament as it progresses. Now for a look at regional and international sporting events, we head across to James Saunders.
Well, they have been stumped by their own doing as the West Indies players have been barred from training. Well, that's until the end of quarantine after a breach of New Zealand's COVID protocols. It is reported that was later confirmed that a few players have contravened the strict COVID-19 protocols within the team's base in Christchurch. The New Zealand Ministry of Health has since advised that all members of the West Indies touring party would not be able to train for the remainder of the quarantine period, which the CWI is in full support of. It is believed that some players compromised the camp by mixing between the 2 separate West Indies bubbles into which the touring party has been split by sharing food and socializing in the hallways. CWI states that there is no evidence or suggestion that any members of the touring party left the facility or that any unauthorized person accessed it. Team manager Raw Lewis is leading an investigation. The quarantine period ends on Friday, the same day as the IPL players are expected to arrive in New Zealand to start their quarantine. Well, while the latest news has come as a shock for most, Cricket West Indies CEO Johnny Grave has tried to be understanding to the players' unique situation, but admittedly stated that he was disappointed with the biosecure breach.
The real carrot for this group of players was the opportunity to tour as normal New Zealand if they got through the 14-day quarantine, and the government had gone even further to give the exemption to allow the players to train. So yes, we're disappointed. Yes, we're surprised that the players would, as I said, having gone through so many months now of playing in this biosecure environment, that they would have let themselves down and let Cricket West Indies down, and potentially, put the tour at risk and the New Zealand population at risk.
Well, Grave also said that the missed days on training due to the breach will have an effect on the team's preparation.
We would have lost 4 days, so around 20% of our training period before going into the match scenarios with a 3-day game at Queenstown due to take place next week. So yeah, look, it's a blow to our preparation plans, especially for those players that didn't take part in the Caribbean Premier League and therefore haven't played any competitive cricket at professional level since the England tour that obviously ended at the end of July. So it's a really significant blow to our preparations, and I know that the head coach Phil Simmons is particularly disappointed.
Well, the West Indies are scheduled to play a tour match against New Zealand A beginning November 20th, and the first of 3 T20s, well, that takes place on November 27th, with 2 test matches to follow. It's not all dark clouds and droopy faces surrounding the West Indies, though, as TNT player Nicholas Pooran's meteoric rise continues, as he was named as vice-captain of the 3 T20 internationals against New Zealand. As reported yesterday, Ruston Chase was named the vice-captain for the 2 ICC World Test Championship matches. Wicketkeeper batsman Pooran has 2 half-centuries in 19 T20 innings and is also averaging close to 50 in one-day internationals. Pooran was first named vice-captain for this format in the series against Afghanistan in 2019. 28-year-old batting all-rounder Ruston Chase has so far played 35 test matches, scoring 5 centuries and collecting 3 5-wicket hauls with his off-spin bowling. Well, the temporary training ban might be a blow to the Caribbean men's preparation. However, they are still expected to perform well in the T20s against New Zealand. Well, the test matches, however, well, that will prove a much tougher challenge. Those are the sentiments of injured all-rounder Dwayne Bravo, who was speaking to iSports.
The test series obviously will be much harder. So prediction for that one is going to be more difficult for me. But I will always encourage and support the guys 100%. And I think West Indies bowling in tests can stand up and compete with any team in the world. So it's just a matter if our batters can actually, get some good starts and get some runs on the board.
Bravo has shut down his 2020 season, opting to recover from a groin injury that brought his IPL campaign to an early end. He also says he is motivated to play for the T20 World Cup along with Kyron Pollard, Sunil Narayan, and even the 41-year-old Chris Gayle, who had a big impact in the IPL.
To him, when we played him, I said, listen, there's a World Cup in October. Let's give it one last shot. You never know. He started laughing, so I told Polly, if he make himself available, go right there. So that's, see if he can make one more push and have the universe boss, set up once again and try and represent the region and go for a third time.
Wow, there's nothing else to see in sports. Catch you later.
And it's the time that we bring you up to date with what's happening around the region and around the world. Guyana's secondary schools reopened their doors on Monday, and the number of students testing positive for the COVID-19 virus continues to skyrocket. As of Wednesday, 38 students and 6 teachers from regions 4, 7, and 9 had tested positive for the potentially deadly disease. Amel Griffith has the details.
2 days after the reopening of schools for CSEC and CAPE students, one student from the Bartica Secondary School and another from the 3 Miles Secondary School in Region 7 have tested positive for COVID-19. Meanwhile, in Region 9, at the Anai Secondary School, 5 teachers and 16 students are COVID-19 positive. Over at President's College, 8 more students, in addition to the previous 8, as well as 1 teacher, are now positive for the virus. This brings to 16 the total number of students from that institution who are now infected. In the last 3 days, 34 students and 6 teachers have been confirmed with potentially deadly disease, even as the Education Minister Priya Manik-Chan continues to defend her decision to reopen schools in the midst of the highest case incidence and death rate since Guyana's COVID-19 index case in March 11 this year. There was a whopping 41 COVID-19 related deaths in September and 44 in October. As of November 11th, there have been 11 deaths, essentially 1 per day. The case count now stands at 4,618 and more than likely is an underreported figure and hence does not begin to reflect the true incidence and prevalence of the virus. Despite this alarming upward trajectory of the virus, government continues to reopen the country at all levels. General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta MacDonald, via a telephone interview with this newscast on Wednesday, confirmed the number of positive cases in the school system.
These figures, even if it's 1, it's alarming and it shouldn't be, because these were the situations we were trying to prevent when the GTU said to the ministry, we don't think, 1, the timing for reopening of school was right, because we did not do enough groundwork.
Lamenting the current situation, McDonald is adamant that the necessary precautionary measures were not put in place prior to the reopening of schools, as is being touted by the education minister. This lack of vision on government's part, she said, has contributed to putting the nation's children at risk.
And now from Guyana, we move over to the European continent, where several countries there are experiencing an aggressive surge in virus infections, with daily deaths steadily rising to match the peak of the first wave in the spring. More than 50,000 people have now died in the UK, making it Europe's worst affected country for COVID-19 deaths. Spain's number of dead within 24 hours has also increased to more than 400, its highest since the second wave began. France is now using mobile units to treat non-COVID patients as its hospitals fail to cope, and Germany is also struggling. Al Jazeera's Andrew Simmons reports.
For the UK, it's another landmark in the spread of COVID, and it's causing alarm. More than 50,000 people who tested positive have died. Britain's total of dead is now the highest in Europe. Nearly 600 deaths on Wednesday overtakes figures since May in the first wave.
Every death is a tragedy, and we mourn everybody who's gone, and our feelings are with their families and friends as well. We're not out of the woods yet. It does still require everybody to follow the guidance.
Elsewhere in Europe, the spread is on the increase too. In Italy, where hotels are now being used to cope with an overspill of patients, the number of cases has now passed 1 million. That's despite increased lockdown restrictions, such as here in Florence. Spain's number of dead within 24 hours has increased to more than 400. It's the highest since the second wave began. France is now using mobile units to treat non-COVID patients because of demands on its hospitals. Germany as well continues to struggle.
Now we have 2 wards that are pretty much at full capacity and where we are barely able to do our jobs.
Hungary is the latest country to increase its lockdown measures. Its parliament has called a 3-month state of emergency that imposes an overnight national curfew. On the ground, countermeasures in the fight against COVID increase, and the race to introduce vaccination programs is also accelerating. The European Union has signed a contract with Pfizer, which has developed the front-runner vaccine with BioNTech. The EU says it's buying 300 million doses. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera.
And now let's see what Tropical Storm Eta has been doing. Over a period of 4 days, the storm drenched a huge area of Central America from Panama to southern Mexico. In Tabasco, on the Mexican Gulf Coast, floods left at least 9 dead and thousands homeless. Rescue workers in central Guatemala continue to search for people trapped under mudslides. In Honduras, one of the countries worst affected by the storm, thousands have been displaced, and residents in Florida's Tampa Bay area are preparing for what authorities are warning could be a hurricane coming their way. Al Jazeera's Manuel Rapallo reports.
As the floodwaters begin to recede, the alarming scale of the devastation left by Hurricane Eta in Central America is becoming apparent. More than a week after Eta slammed into the region as a powerful Category 4 hurricane, rescue workers in central Guatemala continue to search for people trapped under mudslides and debris.
There are thousands of people in shelters. There are already more than 20,000, 37 damaged bridges, 15 completely demolished.
In Honduras, one of the countries worst affected by the storm, thousands have been displaced. Many have lost everything and are now forced to sleep on the side of the road. Some parts of the country are still underwater, complicating the ongoing relief efforts.
There's over 100 roads that have been damaged, so there's no passage. There's, I think, over 70 communities that are completely blocked, which means no food in, no food out, no people in, no people out.
Over a period of 4 days, Eta drenched a huge area of Central America, from Panama to southern Mexico. In Tabasco, on the Mexican Gulf Coast, floods left at least 9 dead and forced thousands of evacuations.
The river came with tremendous pressure. It was overflowing and quickly flooded the house. Some of our neighbors came together and grabbed gas tanks, others a stove, and some picked dishes, pots, and some mattresses. That's sort of what we are using now.
As Ada tracked northward, torrential rains caused flooding in Cuba as well, forcing the evacuations of some 9,000 people. And it's not over yet. In Florida's Tampa Bay area, a hurricane watch has been issued, residents bracing themselves for Ada's heavy winds, storm surge, and flooding rains. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera.
Thanks, Manuel, for that update. And we do pray that, people survive this. We have some Grenadians in Tampa Bay area who have been reporting back home to us that it has been a rough time since Sunday. We've had some people sending us photographs of their apartments and some of their backyards severely flooded. When we come back, a recap of the main points in tonight's news. Recapping tonight's lead, suspected case of suicide as a Pearl's grandmother tells GBN about her final days with her grandson. COVID-19 case on board leads to cancellation of Sea Dream visit. Members of the public question why the rush to bring cruise lines back to the island. Former tourism director worried about inactivity in the tourism sector and its impact on taxi drivers, vendors and other stakeholders. A reading of the tea leaves pointing to possible oiling of elections machinery. Political pundit says that's rubbish. And in sports, Cameroon Football Club pummels Tempe All Blacks 18-0 in GFA Cup. Around the globe this evening, Europe in panic mode as COVID-19 cases reach all-time high as it did in the spring. That's the GBN Network News for today, Thursday, the 12th day of November. I'm your presenter, Odette Campbell. Just in case you miss any part of the newscast, remember you can catch up with us on our social media platforms, the YouTube channel and our Facebook page. We'll see you again tomorrow, and on Sunday evening, we'll catch up with the Weekend Review, just in case you miss any of this week's leads. So long for now.